Well, music has always been a part of my life. My father was a semi-professional player, so he was a clarinetist and pianist. As a young man, he played in the Altoona Symphony in Pennsylvania, and I started as a full-time musician. My first lessons probably were when I was 7 years old or something like that, playing percussion and piano. Ended up going to conservatory and being a concert player for a long time before I embarked on being an engineer. So most of the time these days, my main role is to work on Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos is a technology that's been around since 2012 for the cinema. We released the first film, Brave, in 2012 in June, and now it is basically the de facto standard for all major Hollywood releases. And it uses a new concept of spatial sound where instead of thinking about your track being attached to one speaker or one zone with a one-to-one attachment, you have to think about it more of the concept of having an audio object, where you can turn anything into an object that can be tracked around the room with its spatial data. And then when it gets played back in the home or wherever it's being played back in a cinema, it renders to the room. So it's speaker independent. And that was really designed so that we could get over this need in the cinema industry especially to get a higher resolution, meaning more speakers, more channels, without making the Hollywood mixers do a special mix for every single configuration. My job kind of touches everything. So sometimes it's material that I actually get to record and perform and mix and compose and everything. I get stuff from libraries. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of the big music library houses, if you're doing needle drop stuff, they do have stems available so that you can remix them. We just don't work with stereo here very frequently. So even when we're doing a video that's like this, where it's a talking head with, some background music, we're not using stereo. We're using stems and remixing it in Atmos. If you think about the little moments that we all choose as engineers to pull out of a mix and to draw your attention to, it's really a nice thing in Atmos to be able to make that a bigger event. So a lot of what I'm thinking about is how to make those little events bigger and pop out a little bit more, but not lose the intent of the original mix. If you think about somebody like Brian Wilson, back in the day, he had a very limited amount of tracks that he could deal with, and two speakers. Most of the time, he was mixing for mono, and you can still tell that he's focusing on different things as songs progress. And you, as a surround mixer, can think about the things that he did spend your focused attention on and pull those out and make more special moments out of those. I think what makes a great record is something that has enough interest that keeps you drawing back to it over and over and over again. I'm a kid of the 60s and 70s where people made much more elaborate tracks back then that would have many sections and different harmonic centers and movement and stuff, a little bit different than the sort of loop-centric world that we are living in now. But even with the loop-centric material that's permeating the industry, there are beautiful hooks that make me keep wanting to come back and listen to it. And I think that repeat is what I think makes a great record.
What's up, y'all? This is B.O.B.
This is G-Eazy.
I'm Mo. This is Julia Michaels.
This is Logic. Make sure you subscribe to the Recording Academy channel. Flex.